This happened to me about 3 years ago. I don't really talk about it anymore, not to my family, not to my friends, because whenever I do, people look at me like I've lost my mind. But I know what I saw. I know what I heard. And I know that the room was real, even if everyone around me swore it didn't exist. It started the first week after we moved into the house. A normal house. Ordinary. Nothing special. Except for one door. A door at the very end of the hallway, that no one else seemed to notice. When we first moved into the house, I thought we'd gotten lucky. It was bigger than anything I'd ever lived in before, and cheaper than it had any right to be. People always say, if it's cheap, something's wrong with it. But I didn't want to believe that. The very first night, though, I noticed the hallway. Every bedroom, bathroom, closet, every door opened fine. Except one. At the very end of the hall, there was a door with no handle. No keyhole. Just wood. I laughed it off, called it the house's little quirk. But I couldn't stop staring at it. A door that wasn't meant to open. The second night, I couldn't sleep. The floor creaked. I thought it was the old pipes. But then, scratching. It came from behind that door. Not loud. Just faint. Like fingernails dragging on wood. I stood there in the hallway, pressing my ear against it, my skin crawling. When I asked my parents about it, they said, "What door?" They looked at me like I was crazy. They swore the hallway ended at my room. But I could see it. Plain as day. Over the next weeks, I started changing. I'd wake up in the middle of the night standing in front of the door. Sometimes, I'd dream of opening it. Sometimes, I'd dream of something opening it for me. The scratching grew louder. Then it turned into whispers. I pressed my ear against the wood one night and heard someone breathing. And then a voice that said, "Let me out." I started hammering on it. Kicking it. My parents dragged me away, shouting, telling me to stop. But they still insisted the door wasn't there. They couldn't see it. That's when I knew. The door wasn't part of the house. It was part of me. One night, I woke up with a crowbar in my hand. Don't ask me how. I don't remember grabbing it. But I do remember what happened next. I wedged it into the side of the frame. The wood groaned. Splintered. The door cracked open. And behind it wasn't an empty room. It was my room. Same bed. Same desk. Same posters. Except, I was already lying in the bed. The other me smiled without opening his eyes. I don't know how long I stood there, frozen, watching myself sleep. Then my eyes opened. Slowly. And he smiled wider. "Finally," he whispered. "I've been waiting." The lights in the hallway flickered. The air turned cold. I tried to run, but my feet wouldn't move. The other me sat up in the bed, moving like a puppet on strings. He stepped onto the floor, his movements jerky, wrong, too slow, then too fast. And then, without warning, he lunged at me. Everything went black. When I woke up, I was in the bed. My bed. The door was gone. My parents say I've been sleeping a lot lately. But when I look in the mirror, something feels wrong. I smile when I don't mean to. And sometimes, when I close my eyes, I swear I can hear scratching. From the other side.